Hey folks, it's Teresa, Stringfield Ridge Farm. We've got a nice day today. It's not too bad. I think it's about 50, but I know we're fixing to get cold weather real soon. We've had some cold weather, but it hasn't stayed with us. It's been off and on, and we know that it is fixing to get pretty cold here very shortly and stay that way. So we are a little behind getting some of our winterizing done. We've done some things. We've put some plastic up on some of the quail cages and done a few things. We don't have electricity out near our chicken coop, so we haven't done an electric water or anything like that. Last year I got a black bowl, rubber bowl, that doesn't freeze and break, and I just kept hauling warm water out there every morning and pouring over what they had, or dumping the ice out and pouring the water in and that kind of thing, which is kind of a pain. It's kind of a pain, you know. So what I'm gonna try is this thing that this lady showed. I can't remember who. If I can remember who, I'll put it right here. I can't remember who it was, but I'll look back and see if I can figure out who it was so you can go watch her video. She done a black tire. One I read said straw. I think she put that bubble wrap or something. Anyway, then she put the black rubber bowl, like I have, inside of the tire. And she said that it would keep it from freezing. I'm not real sure it keeps it from freezing here, because we can get a pretty cold winter, and ice and snow can stay around for weeks at a time. It's been a little warmer. We haven't had as bad of winters as we used to have, but I'm hearing that it's going to get worse. So what I'm going to do is try this, and I'm thinking that even if it does freeze, the black rubber would heat up faster when the sun comes out and would melt it faster. So at least if it does freeze, at least the black, I think, would help the sun melt the water faster. So we're going to try that. We'll have the other water out there, and we may try to come up with some way to help it, keep it from freezing, or for it to melt faster also. But I do have the black rubber that I bought last winter so that you could empty it out. It wouldn't freeze and break. You could just empty the ice out and refill it. I'm going to try that in the tire because we just happen to have several old tires laying around here. And so I'm going to try that with the chicken's water and with the cat's water. So we'll see how that goes, and we will let you know. I'm going to do it, and then when we see during this winter how that works out, we will do another video on that and let you know how it worked out. Okay, so here's where I'm at so far. I got out an old tire that we had laying around that's just was an old flat tire, and I stuffed heavy plastic around inside, all up inside the tire. That heavy plastic came from where we put plastic on the chicken coop last year for the winter. We didn't use it this year because Lee enclosed that with wood. So they have wood around their coop instead of having to cover it with plastic. The first year we had covered it with tarps, and then last year we covered it with this heavy plastic, and finally this year we have wood around that. So we'd kept the old plastic. I took and shoved that all up inside that tire good. It's all the way shoved up inside to have a insulation. And then we put the black rubber piece in there just to make sure it fits. I'm going to clean that out a little bit and then put water in it. And I'll show you that in a minute. And even if it doesn't do anything but make the water heat up more in the sun, that will be a benefit, because the water will melt. The ice will melt faster, hopefully, with this going on. So we'll let you know that up during the winter when we really get the cold weather, and let you know if that works. Okay, I cleaned that bowl out a little bit and put water in there, and I'm gonna put just a little apple cider vinegar in there, which helps the chickens stay healthy. And I was careful not to get water around in the plastic, and I will probably have to be careful all winter and not get the water spilt over too much into the plastic, because I'm thinking that that would freeze and cause more problems. So if I try to keep the water inside there and not get any out here to freeze, that would probably help some too. So I'm going to add my vinegar, and I'll show you. Here's the other water we have. I'm not sure yet what we're going to do about it. We may just not worry about that. I may even take it out and put it up so it doesn't freeze and bust, and just rely on the other one. I'm not sure yet. And I'm looking at the quail's water to see what we can do about that. So I'm going to look around on the internet a little bit and see if anybody has an advice on what to do about the quail water without electricity. We've done a video before on where we raised the roof on this chicken coop. We have a video of that. I'll try to tag here or in the description, and that makes a world of difference, y'all. This chicken coop was that tall right there, and then he had this built up higher for him to have a roost up in there, but he had the front of that covered. So back in the summer, we I kept saying it was too short. I just barely fit under there, and was having to bend over just a little, just enough to make it very uncomfortable, and kept fussing about that until he decided to raise the roof on it. We started to build a whole new coop, but this one was still pretty good shape, so he decided to just raise that up, and now we both fit under there perfectly fine and plenty of room, and it makes such a big difference. So if you haven't built a coop yet and you're going to be doing that, keep that in mind, that you really want to have it tall enough to where you can get in there and move around and clean things out and work in there. Okay, next I'm going to fill these boxes back up with, this is the outside of the boxes. We have, you can go inside and get to them, but we have a lid on here that opens and closes, so you don't have to go inside to get the eggs, and has these boxes. I'm going to fill those all back up real good with shavings, because they dig some of it out. They haven't done too bad as of yet of digging it out, but they will, and so I'm going to fill those back up good with shavings. I'm just using this animal bedding that we found on sale. There you go. We got that on sale. That's why we're using this. I don't know any particular one we like or anything like that, but this one's environmentally friendly and all that, and animal bedding. So that's what I'm using, and I'm just going to fill those back up. That's what's in there, and I'm going to fill those back up good. Okay, now I'm doing the quail cages, and a lot of that will fall through, but I put some down to kind of help them out, and then they have these buckets that they get in, so I put plenty in the buckets and then some down on the bottom, which will fall through eventually, but I put a little bit on the bottom just to help them out a little, and we do have that covered with plastic already. I don't do a whole lot of quail videos because we've only had the quail for about a year, and I am really still learning a lot about them my own self. So we do have the white jumbo quail. Oops, he took off on me. And the cortonics quail. And then those have, I've hatched out some eggs myself. So those have bred a mixed breed. I'll show you some of them. I have those in a different quail cage. Okay, there's one of the mixed. He's mixed too. This one's mixed. All of these are actually, so I say that, and they all are actually in here. Trying to get some of them. They're very pretty. I am going to fill their bucket up. One of them's in it, but he's going to have to move. And I'm going to fill their bucket up. Get out of there, buddy. And you have to watch out for predators at your quail cages. That one's covered with plastic. But there's a little predator who would love nothing more than to get a hold of them. Most of our cats are barn cats that won't let you touch them. But we have a few who are pretty good, who will. Yeah. Yup. This and will. There's just a few. I think we have 3 or 4 that'll let you pet them. The rest of them are feral barn cats. They do keep the mice down. As much feed as we have around here, we don't ever see mice or rats or anything. They keep the mice and rats away. Okay, so I already got the dog and cat's water fixed up. My battery went dead and I wasn't going to wait until my battery charged to fix it, so I went ahead and done this. It's got the same plastic all the way inside there and on the bottom, and then I put their water bowl is quite a bit bigger, so it doesn't fit down in there as good as I would like, but it's pretty close. It's pretty close there to the rim, but that's okay. It fits pretty good. I'm about to add my apple cider vinegar in there. That there holds about 4 gallons, so I'm going to put about 4 tablespoons in there. It's a tablespoon per gallon. You can use a little more if they will drink more. I have read that you could use 2 tablespoons per gallon if they'll drink it, but a lot of them don't like it. So I always put about a tablespoon per gallon just in case, because I don't want them to not drink it. Raw, unfiltered apple cider vinegar with the mother. Make sure it's got the mother. And then I'll go out to where I done the chickens and put a couple of tablespoons in theirs. Theirs is about a 2-gallon water bowl. I also add a little apple cider vinegar to the inside dog's bowl. Now it's nowhere near even a half a gallon. So I usually just use a teaspoon for that. She doesn't like it a whole lot. If I use very much in hers, she won't drink it. So I have to be more careful with hers than any of the others and not use too much. She doesn't like it. She will sniff of it and walk away if it's very much in there. So there you go. I first saw this trick from Off Grid with Doug and Stacy. Saw them do this a long time ago, and then I've seen other people do it since then, and I started doing it about I'll say 8 months ago, and so I think it's a great idea. I think it keeps them healthy. So there you go. It's good for us and good for them. So give us a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what all you're doing to winterize. If you're late like us, or if you've already winterized, let us know what you've done.